everyone, my name is Daniel Nyirenda, working with Growth Development Consultancy, and I welcome you to our YouTube channel where we share content that can build, grow and expand your career, business and organization. And in our today's video, we're going to be continuing on our series looking at monitoring and evaluation. You know, last time we looked at the M&E system, and we talked about how that we're going to be looking at all the other components of the M&E system one by one, so that we become better M&E individuals. And for today, we are going to be looking at a project and program monitoring. What is monitoring? Monitoring is a process of keeping watch on the progress of a project to see whether you are on track. So you answer if you are doing things correctly, what can be done, are there any diversions, how can you correct those diversions. So that's what monitoring is all about. So possibly for us to better understand the concept of monitoring, we can look at the different types of monitoring. So the first type of project or program monitoring is referred to as result monitoring. And so result monitoring usually tracks effects and impact. And this is where monitoring and evaluation merge together, because you are trying to determine if you are on target concerning the results that you want to achieve. That is at output, outcome, but also impact level. But also at the same time, you're trying to see whether you have a certain kind of impact, whether it may be positive or negative. So the second type of project or program monitoring is organization monitoring. And so this usually tracks the sustainability, institutional development, but also capacity building of an organization and its partners. And it is often done in conjunction with the process monitoring of a larger implementing organization. So for instance, you can have the M&E of the government of Malawi at the head office monitoring the M&E activities at the district or regional level. So that's about organization monitoring. So sometimes you can have an implementing organization being monitored by a donor organization. So that's what organization monitoring is all about. It's about looking at whether things are on track concerning M&E activities of a particular organization. And coming to the third type of monitoring is the financial monitoring. And so financial monitoring usually tracks the finances, right? The costs and also resources that are being inputted into the project, the inputs and also the activities. And usually as the M&E, you would have to require to work together with the accounts office to see how resources are being utilized, whether finances have been used for the right purpose or not, because it's very possible for people to take finances to the field for a certain project or for a certain activity, and when they go there, they use the finances for other different things and they divert the resources. So you have to be in a position to check all of those things, if you're on track or not, but also you want to check and keep track whether you are within budget or not, because if you keep on using money and you finish out all your money before the end of the project, at the end of the day you are going to have a challenge. So for instance, if you budgeted for a certain activity for and you are supposed to spend that money within 5 months, every month you're supposed to be spending 200,000. If you spend 500,000 in 1 month, it definitely means that in the future you're going to be having challenges. So that's about financial monitoring. And then another important type of monitoring is the beneficiary monitoring. So here you are keeping track of who the beneficiary, the project participants, in terms of how they feel about the project. Are they happy? Are they satisfied in terms of the way things are being conducted and the way it's being implemented? So how are they being treated? And so you look at the issues to do with the complaints. What complaints are they having? And at the end of the day, you're supposed to have solutions to the complaints that they are having. And if there is any negative feedback, you're supposed to be in a position to ensure that you deal with those things on time. So that's about the beneficiary monitoring. You're looking at the people's perception towards the project. And then the other important type of monitoring is the process or activity monitoring. So here you are just looking at the process of activities. Are they being done properly? For instance, if you wanted to implement a certain activity, you ask questions: was it done on time? Right, were all the resources available at that particular time or day? So that's about process monitoring, because you're just trying to make sure that things happened according to how it were planned. And then the other type of monitoring is participatory monitoring, whereby you make sure that you do all the monitoring interventions together with the relevant stakeholders. And it's not just a matter of involving the stakeholders at a certain particular time going to the field. It's about involving them throughout the project timeline, whether it be developing indicators, implementing the interventions, but also evaluating the project. And then finally, the other type of monitoring is context or situation monitoring. And so this tracks the setting in which the program operates, right? Especially how it affects the assumptions and the risks that may arise, taking into consideration anything that can happen, whether positive or negative, outside the context within which you had planned your project. So that's about it today, guys. We looked at what is monitoring and what are some of the important types of monitoring. I hope that has given you a hint in terms of what is a project or program monitoring. So remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave comments, but also share our video. See you next time.